Well, one hopes that my clock is actually working correctly because I did not press any start button for today's broadcast. I left it up to a scheduling system built by Facebook and YouTube, and I don't know whether it worked. There's so many buttons all around, but this time I didn't use any buttons. I was like, take your buttons, take these buttons, pop them away, because we're just going to leave the stream to go live. And I think it's worked. I think it's actually worked. Facebook looks like it's on live. And, well, YouTube, I presume it is. I think it is. We got another big show for you today. We got so many things. I hope you enjoyed our discussion of Libra last time. A whole bunch of people reaching out to me, asking questions about it. Yeah, that was a test network. Jump on it, have a play. If you're on a PC, it's going to be a little more difficult. I did find out just today some ways to make a PC work. So on the YouTube page of that video of episode 5, there's a link inside that YouTube description that'll take you to explain how to install basically like a virtual Linux box on your PC. Well, I can't remember what day was our last episode. I think it was Tuesday. Today's Thursday. And just looking around, I've been to the 99-cent store. And the 99-cent store is one of my favorite stores in the entire world. I'll show you what I bought. I bought some stuff there. If you're asking, it was 99 cents. Well, you know, that actually, sometimes there are things at the 99-cent store that aren't 99 cents. For instance, sometimes they're $4.99, $5.99. A fun one for you right now. They're actually doing a half price sale on anything above $4.99. We're not sponsored by them. I just like you to know whenever you can get a bargain. All right, should we kick off today's show? We're going to go, I'll tell you what, we're not going to go from this screen. We're going to go from this title screen, and we'll throw to we'll throw to the title and the audio. Here it comes now. Robot Time Machine. Yes, I'm a big fan. I think it was the SBS or ABC back in Australia where I feel, and I could be wrong with this, I think it was ABC or SBS, whenever they didn't do on-air broadcasts, they had this really cool looking, it was like a test pattern. I don't know the official name of this test pattern, this one that's on screen now. When I downloaded it, it came up with PM5544. So maybe PM5644, maybe that is like a, yeah, it is. Actually, here we go. Oh, we're learning things. This is great. Philips PM 5544. So that test pattern that's next to me, and if you're listening to this on iTunes, this is that test pattern that's a circle that has color bands through it. And you'd recognize it if you live in the US. I'm sure stations here would use this. Here's the history of it. I never knew that there was such a cool history to it. So it says, the Philips PM5544 is a television pattern generator. Oh, it was a generator. Most commonly used to provide a television station with a complex test card, commonly referred to as the Philips pattern or PTV circle. The content and layout of the pattern was designed by engineer Finn Hendel. Hey, on you, Phil. From in the Philips TV laboratory in Copenhagen, under supervision of chief engineer Erik Helmer Nielsen. That sounds like a name that definitely came from Copenhagen. I love it. ERIK. Where would Grey come from as a name? Anyway, I get distracted a lot, so we need to plot the course to learn about what this signal actually is. So the equipment, the PM5544, which generates the pattern, was then made by engineer Fenn and his group in between 68 and 69. Oh, I mean, we were making test patterns. We were launching rockets to the moon. What a time. Since the introduction of this test pattern in the early 70s, the pattern has become one of the most commonly used test cards with only the SMPTE and the BBC test cards and the Snell zone plate coming close to its usage. Let's have a look at what they are. So currently we're seeing, this wasn't supposed to be part of the show, by the way. This wasn't supposed to be part of today's show at all. But I just realized when I put up that screen, I wanted to know the history of it. So the SMPTE bars, let's see what they are. Oh, I was using the wrong mouse. Oh, okay, your classic. These bars here, these are the bars that generate here. So the test pattern that you're now seeing on screen is whoops, but I've disappeared. Oh no, I've got myself, I'm stuck. I'm back. There we go. So this pattern that you're seeing here with just the classic bars, this is called the SMPTE color bars. Those listening, this is the color bars. You then have, and you're going like white, yellow, cyan, green, magenta, red, blue. And then below there's another block. Now why did it have different blocks? Oh wow, the description on why seems quite complex. There was quite a lot to it. Oh, there we go. I'm back. So you've grey, yellow, cyan, green, magenta, red, blue, white, black. Oh, look at that. So it's a direct luminescence numbers and a phase angle. Phase angle is the color when you do like a color spectrum, and you can see where it is. I guess this is kind of like if you're doing test sounds and so on, you'd hear the specific frequency. They used to do it, of course, with color and luminescence. I mean, yeah, of course, makes sense. So anyway, getting back to the pattern that we were looking at. Oh, the other one was, okay. There's one other one that we do need to look at. This one is called the test card F. This is the BBC test card as seen on BBC. I don't remember seeing this, however, like, because I didn't live in London and Australia didn't stream BBC. However, we did have shows like The Goodies, and I'm sure The Goodies used to do gags of this. Hang on. No, they can't have, because this only came about in 1991. Well, I'm glad I realised that, because otherwise, scrap everything that I just said about seeing Goodies do gags with it. I must have seen Goodies do old school gags with different test cards. So that's test card F. The one that we're looking at, though, PM5544, that's really cool. Oh, the components of it. Wow. Check out the components of this. Wow. Okay. I see. So you've got like the low frequency check, a reflection check. The colors in the center, the yellow, cyan, green, magenta, red, blue, are at specific luminescence, as we saw before. There's a scan line. There's a frequency subcarrier check. There is so much inside this test pattern. So I grabbed a test pattern like yesterday and just made some text changes to it. I didn't realize each of those, where you're seeing that the almost like the barcode inside it, that is actually its specific frequencies. Sinusoidal, difference lines, grey. Oh, and then the grey is actually a complete grayscale that goes from 0% to 100%. So here, those barcode lines inside there are actually at specific frequencies. And I guess if your TV was out of sync, you probably wouldn't see straight lines. I imagine you'd see either some waving or some moire or some form of difference. Oh, wow. And those grey shaded parts, if your TV wasn't color contrasted correctly, you may see like the 20% and the 40% as the same level of grey. Wow. There is so much. I did not realize how much was involved inside this test pattern. I mean, it's great. It totally makes sense. It's a test pattern, so you want everything inside there. Whoa. I didn't realize on the side as well. Look at that. You've got, let's see what colors they actually are. On the left-hand side and on the right-hand side, there's like striping. They're burst gate checks. Oh, here we go. 90% phasing, 90 to 270 degrees phase inversion. on the left, and then 0 to 180 degree phase inversion. But they're both horizontal lines. I don't fully comprehend what that's referencing. I'm not sure. Someone else from the industry 100% would. Why is it just yellow down the bottom and red? What are those two at the bottom? The YC timing check. Yellow, yellow, and red. Huh. 230 nanosecond, 2 scanline frame grid with grey background for convergence and linearity check. Huh. This is one of the coolest things. I don't know. It's we will go through strange things on this show because it is called Robot Time Machine, and you never look. I don't really know what's going to happen a lot of the time on these shows, but finding interesting stuff like this color test pattern, I'm really fascinated by that. So this is the PM5544, your classic TV color pattern. Your classic TV color pattern. I remember seeing this on TV so many times. Oh, what else have we got here? The BBC occasionally used a modified version of their card, test card G. Oh, the BBC had different versions. So remember, a minute ago I was saying I was sure the goodies used to use it. That was test card F that came in 91. There was test card... there we go. Test card A made its debut in the late 1940s. However, it and test card B were soon to be replaced by the more useful test card C. Check out test card C. Old school test card. Look at that. Look at that. It's just... from what we learnt before in that other test card, those lines are at certain frequency. That... white to black is a 20% increase in grayscale each time, which I presume is for contrast testing. Yeah. Test card B, test card C. This one looks familiar. That's test card C. What years was that? 1948. Okay. Test card C was 48. D came in 64. E... This is definitely where it came from. It totally meant the goodies. If you've never seen an episode of the goodies, do yourself an. It's Tim Brooke Taylor, Graham Garden, and Bill Oddie, and it's one of the greatest TV shows in the history of TV. When I open up my TV History Museum, which is happening next Tuesday at around 3 o'clock, it might not be occurring, but hopefully it will. So in my TV History Museum, I'm going to have all of the test cards, but I'm going to have a giant sign that just says that the goodies is one of the greatest shows ever. It was amazing. Oh, and the thing that breaks my heart is I don't think it was broadcast in the United States, or if it was on some obscure channel at some obscure time. It's certainly, unfortunately, I don't believe NBC was pushing out the goodies. The greatest show. Goodies. Goody, goody, yum, yum, goodies. We're coming for you. Goodies. Goody, goody, yum, yum. Here we come into town, getting up, falling down. Hey! Oh, my. I'm very glad that off the top of my hat, I can still remember that song. Check them out. These are the goodies. These are the goodies. And they are possibly the coolest people in the world. There we go. Riding their 3-person bicycle. They were some of the funniest premises of any shows whatsoever. There was a giant cat that took over London. What was that? There was an enormous cat. Look at this. This was an episode. This was an actual episode of The Goodies where a giant cat went through London. Now, they didn't have CGI back in the day. I think that is cardboard cutouts of the kitten. Let's see if we can do a Here it is, the cat going up the tower. Oh, it's just amazing. Look at that fantastic green screen and keying it out. That would have cost a lot of money to do back in the day. One of the things that the Goodies really, really did was very clever and imaginative ways of doing film effects without the technology available. So there was a lot of, I mean, this actually goes back to, if you have a look at like documentaries of Buster Keaton and a lot of the slapstick, the black and white slapstick, had not only physical stunts being done inside of it, but they had to do a lot of cinematography tricks in camera, in lens. Which the difference between using like CGI or something like that, like I can key myself out. If you ever used to watch Wednesday Live, which was a live show that we used to do here on Facebook, like a year or two ago, that was basically a fully green screened show, and the things that we could do were all just processed on the computer, green screened out, keyed out very quickly. I mean, like on the fly, I can probably key out certain parts of the background of me right now. I'll see whether this might actually destroy what you're seeing, but potentially I can just key out backgrounds. Let me see if I can key out in the background here. There's a red little French fry, little bag of French fries. I'll see whether I can key him out. Might not work. No. Let's see. I need to get the red. No. Okay. This isn't going to do it live, but we could just key out certain parts of the screen. Whereas, oh no, now I think I may be keying live. Oh, there we go. Okay. Is that happening? Okay, that whole background's, there we go. So if you're watching now, I'm keyed out a lot of the color in the background, which means I could add things into the background and then overlay myself on top of it like that, where I'm now sort of live. I'm like a shadow floating over the top of one of those test patterns. These things, I mean, these things can be done just straight in camera, on the fly, instantaneously. Oh no! Now, I've completely keyed myself into. I'm stuck in here at the moment. There we go. So that was scary. I was like, oh no! I've keyed myself for the rest of the show. This isn't going to be good. The things that they used to do in camera were lots of things to do with having a perception distance is a classic play where you can rebalance the size of something that looks big in front, whereas like right now it looks like I'm squishing my own head with my fingers. That's just a thing to do with the perception of where the fingers are. And the reason I'm stuttering at the moment is because whilst this looks normal on the live output, my actual camera input I've ruined for the moment, and I'm trying to get it back to normal. There we go. Okay, cool. We're back to normal. That was slightly terrifying. That entire time I was rekeying the background. And to show you live how that works, here's the lamp camera. There is a set of keypads here and buttons, and then on my screen here I can set up a whole different way of changing chroma keys and all that, and Luma, and anyway, let's get back to it. I want to talk about the goodies again for a second. So the goodies were amazing, and I'm absolutely sure they must have used that test card in some episodes. The goodies test card. If you type in the goodies test card, it just comes up with like kids test cards. It's not what we're looking for. Anyway, so that's I think we've spent long enough talking about. There's just one last part that I do want to talk about with this test thing. It's just so awesome. It looks great. It really is such a fun. I don't know. Maybe it's when you grow up watching things like test cards and so on. It's like a novelty to reminisce about it and so on, which is why maybe when I see it, I think, that's really cool. But that pattern generator, I don't believe is used much anymore. because it was very, very much about analog transmission and all of the complexities that come along with transmission. I'm sure it's probably still used in broadcast. I mean, it's got benefits, but yeah, I think sync would have been a huge problem with NTC and PAL. Why is there two different broadcast systems? Why? It's like the metric system. We got metric and imperial. Of course, we had to have NTSC and PAL. I come from the land of PAL. That was how Australia ran on PAL. The US went on NTSC. Anyway, what else have we got? What else are we going to talk about today? There was a crazy article that I saw. This is wild. There was an app. I'm just gonna read you this article. It is completely crazy what they were doing. So this app called LaLiga was listening in on fans to catch bars illegally streaming soccer. And the tagline here is, it used a Shazam-like technology to identify soccer games. So imagine this, right? Imagine this. You've downloaded this soccer app, and this soccer app gave you like details about the game. It gave you insights. It gave you stats and so on. So you're at your local bar. You've got your app with you, and you're looking at it, and you're checking out the stats of the game. Meanwhile, that app actually turned on the microphone, was broadcasting packets of sound to a database, and in the same way that Spotify matches packets against a database of sounds. So if you've got, say, like an Elton John song playing and you it then listens to a few packets, sends it back and matches it. They were doing the same, but they were listening to the background, and if they heard the broadcast that was occurring, and if that broadcast was the soccer match, they then used your GPS stamp to look and see whether the bar that you're at had paid for the rights to broadcast. Oh my goodness. So much invasion of privacy, so much cleverness in what they were doing, but so much invasion of privacy. So this article, which is coming from The Verge, goes on to say, Spain's data protection agency has fined the country's soccer league, LaLiga, €250,000, or about 280,000 US, for allegedly violating EU data privacy and transparency laws. The app, which is used for keeping track of games and stats, was using the phone's microphone and GPS to track bars illegally streaming soccer games. How are you going to do this and not imagine that you're going to get in trouble? We're just having a look here on the, it went straight to iTunes, LaLiga live soccer scores. So look, it's your classic type of app where you've got the scores and the teams and everything. 19,000 reviews. So it's a big app, 4.8. People love it. People clearly didn't love the fact that it was spying on them. It goes on to say, using a Shazam-like technology, the app would record audio to identify soccer games and use the geolocation of the phone to locate which bars were streaming without licenses. El Diario reports that fans have downloaded the app more than 10 million times, essentially turning them into undercover narcs. The league claims that the app asked for permission to access the phone's microphone and location, and that the data, which is received as a code, not audio, hold on for a second, which is received as code, not audio. Oh yeah, okay, so we put it through a DAC. We put it through a DA. No, we put it through an A to D, an analog to digital converter. That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That's literally how audio transmits when it's going through any form of app or any technology. If it's converts from analog to digital, then it turns into code, and you could call it streams of binary, streams of whatever it is. That's just how electronics work. You cannot say that that is your excuse. So it says, Oh, that's amazing. Which is received as code, not audio. Hysterical. The app does explain in the terms of service that by giving the app permission, users are consenting to LaLiga using their phones to detect fraudulent behavior like pirated soccer games. Okay, all right. That part is right. It's in their terms. I can't believe they actually wrote into their terms of service that by giving the app permission, users are consenting to LaLiga using their phones to detect fraudulent behavior, like pirated soccer games. My goodness. Do you reckon that was actually... damn. No, I'm not going to be able to read this. We can use Translate to read their terms of service, but I don't think... I'll just search for the word pirated. Piracy. Oh, there, piracy. Oh my goodness. It actually is in their terms of service. To develop statistical patterns on soccer consumption and to detect fraudulent operations of the retransmission of LaLiga football matches. Wow. Okay. Look, it's in it. All right. It's in there. It's blatantly in their terms of service. So if it's in the terms of service, it's hard. Wow. It's crazy. I can't believe they're legitimate. They're actually like, you want the stats? Well, you got to become a narc. You've got to become an undercover detective for us. That's wild. So it goes on to say, however, the Spanish Data Protection Agency claims the app didn't make this clear and has ordered LaLiga to take down the app by June 30th. The league plans to appeal the sanction, claiming that the agency doesn't fully understand the app's technology. Interesting. Wow, that's a tricky one. It's in the terms of service. It blatantly says it. I can see that the privacy, there's absolutely privacy concerns because you don't read the terms of service. I think the solution there is absolutely highlighting it within the app. If they want to keep that as a feature, you need to highlight that as an app within the app. Very blatantly say, hey, yo, we're going to listen in. We're going to listen in and we're going to send it and then we're going to pattern match it. And we're going to find out who's using illegal streams. Wild. Did you see this one as well? You may know the queen of robots. I keep this show clean. I try not to swear on here. So, she's the queen. You know her, Simone Gertz, absolute legend. She took a Tesla. Here she is. If you're not aware of her, you absolutely have to be. This is her. Just a superstar, an absolute superstar. So she took her Tesla and turned it into a ute because she's a legend. Because she's an absolute legend. She went through. You got to check out her video on YouTube that goes through the process of actually converting the Model 3 into a ute or a pickup truck. The differences between lingos in how they're referred to. She's amazing. This is one of the coolest, and she's also the nicest. She's just such an awesome person. So you've got to go and check out. You must have a look at that video. It's so wildly cool. I don't know. I personally, I've got a van. I got a van. I just think though, if I had a Tesla, I wouldn't. No, I'd probably. Now that I think about it, I'd rip it apart and make it look like a DeLorean. Actually, I would 100% rip it apart. I think that's because I was about to say I don't know whether I'd turn it into a ute. I think that's the thing. I don't need a ute because I've got a van, so I wouldn't turn it into a ute. However, turning it into a DeLorean, maybe the Model 3 is capable of time travel. Possibly so. Who knows? I don't know. I'm making something at the moment, actually. I've been building a a giant. I love neon signs. I love neon signs. They're the coolest things in the world. I'm such a fan. I love neon tubes. I do want to at some stage go and learn how to sort of blow the glass to create your own neon signs. I think that would be such an awesome skill to have. Until I learned how to do that, I saw a neon sign that gave me some inspiration. The neon sign that I saw, and I use the word neon just because that explains what it is. But it was called the Q Rooftop Bar in Melbourne, I think is the name of it. The sign, damn, what was the name of it? Q Bar, what is the name of that place? It's called the Q in Melbourne. When I was in Melbourne last, I was there. It was a giant sign, Q at Loft, Q Melbourne Bar. What's the name of that bar? Anyway, I saw a neon sign that just looked great, but it was actually just an LED backlit sign. But it was made using handwriting. It looked like legit, like real handwriting that someone had just written out. So I was like, I'm going to try and create my own. Let me just find out. I'm going to find this for us. I'm going to find it. It's definitely called Rooftop at QT. Rooftop at QT is what it is. It's a bar in Melbourne, and they have this just wild neon sign at the beginning, and it looks like this. It's handwritten. It's got like it's a handwritten typeface that has like spikiness to it. Really, really, really cool. And so I'm getting married in August, and so have been making a neon sign similar. What you're seeing on screen is it divided up. Like when you go to cut perspex, you want to use as much space, and so I don't need to create this all as one piece. So Kyle is one part, and is one part, Gray is another part, and yeah, we've got some. I really like this sort of. It's wide at the top on the K, going down into a spike. I'm gonna go. This is sort of. I think it's about 96 inches wide. I bought some aluminium from China that just came through, and this is siding. This is when you see like neon signs, they'll have the sort of the acrylic top plate which the light shines through. That's the front, and then you often have exactly the same, whether it's the same plastic or different is kind of irrelevant, but that on the back, and then a spacer, and this is kind of what it is. Now, the thing that I found really interesting about this piece of aluminium is that there's a piece of foam that goes down as well to help set it in place, and then you've got sort of this lip that the plastic locks into. So that goes around the edges. So if you can imagine this Kyle and Gray, that's going to be frosted perspex on the front. The side, which it'll be glued to, is then that aluminium, and then there will be a backing to it. And I'm using these LED modules. I went through all different types of modules trying to work out what is going to be the brightest, most effective way of lighting this thing. I tried this neon flex. I'll plug this in and show you. But this module is just so bright. Have a look at this. Plug that in. That's epic. Now, it doesn't come across on camera, of course, but you can tell by the fact that it's blinding on my fingers bright red. This is a very, 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 it's high intensity modules. So they're going to be inside of it. And it's going to, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to, it's going to be rad. Well, I hope it is. I hope it's going to be rad. I think it will be. I think it'll look really cool. So I'm off to, I'm going to go laser cut that tomorrow. That'll be great. There's the hackerspace that I'm a member at, Crashspace, has a an epilog, but I think the bed's only like 24 by 24 inches or somewhere around there. It's not a huge laser cutter. If you're wondering what laser cutters look like as well, if you've never seen a laser cutter, it's like a laser cutter epilog. It's like a printer. I mean, it looks like one of those large format printers, actually. Epilog. Here we go. So these are the different types. I mean, that kind of looks like a large format printer, but you put your material in the top of it, and then a laser moves along, and like that. And depending on what intensity you set the laser to, you can either engrave or you can do full cuts. You can absolutely cut all the way through. Really, really awesome. But the size of the bed dictates like how big you can make the cut. And so going off to a different place called I Love Lucite. Yes, I Love Lucite in Culver City to use the laser cutter. Steve is going to help me because he's a legend. Thank you, sir. So going to head there tomorrow. One of the things you may have seen in that, you will have noticed that, yes, you don't actually use these bold. I'm just showing you here so that you can see what the file looks like. That's not the file that you actually send to the printer. You create outlines, and then depending on the setting of the printer, you'll either set that if the line is color red, then that means use 100% intensity, or if the line's green, or there's different ways to set it. You can set it to like thickness, but it'll do the line. So if you just want to engrave, you can set it to engrave and so on. So each one's different. Oh, and the other one, we're gonna make a neon sign to put in the background here. This one will be different. This is going to be a large piece of Perspex with robot time machine cut out, and then I'm going to feed this neon, this LED rope light. Well, it's actually called Neon Flex. I'm going to show you, if you haven't seen this stuff, it's ultra expensive. This stuff is ultra expensive in the US. But when I was in Shenzhen last, I bought so much of it. Oh, I bought so much of it because it was so much cheaper. So this is it. It glows on the top side, and it's completely flexible. There's two different types. There's a silicon version, and I guess it was a PVA version or something like that. The silicon, a little more expensive, much more flexible. Let's have a look at what's inside. It's a flexible circuit board. I'll cut this one open, and then we can have a look inside. So you can strip it. Oh no, I'm gonna need scissors. Here we go. Slicing it down the side, so it glows out the front, and then we've sliced it, and inside is a circuit board with LEDs on it. And just a resistor per, looks like a resistor per 2 or 3 LEDs. There we go. Just a flexible circuit board. And this is almost like when you buy 50/50 or different types of LED. I'm trying to get that in focus. The manual focus. Look at that. I don't have knuckles anymore. It's an entirely different story as to why I don't have them, but my knuckles completely, over the course of years, I unfortunately scratched them off. Those little LEDs there, they're pretty bright. They're actually, yeah, they're really bright. So I'm going to use that. I've got all different colors, but going to make a neon sign that goes into the background. I reckon by, it'll probably still be like another week or two before that's up and running, but gonna go, hopefully we'll laser cut it tomorrow and then start assembly, and then if it works out, we'll make one for the side of the desk as well, because I've been doing a whole bunch of updates and different updates to the desk. There is, I'll show you a video of I recently, and by recently I mean like last night, reached out to the 4th of July parade of Santa Monica. Because a while ago, Kyle and I were driving the desk around in Santa Monica, and someone came up and said, hey, come and do the 4th of July parade. And I was like, yeah, I'd love to. And then just completely forgot about it. Crazy timing. 2 days ago, I got an email from Santa Monica Tourism, Emily, saying that Misty, who's a member of the Santa Monica Pier Board, she's going to be part of the parade in a really special way. And are we able to attend? Which reminded me, like, yo, I've got to be part of this parade. So I emailed them. I was a day late. I was 1 day late. Can you believe the timing? Applications needed to be in by the 18th. Yesterday is when I applied, and it was the 19th. However, they were lovely, and they're like, no, we'll let you in. We'll let you in. You can come along. You can roll around. Come along and roll around is basically what they said. And rolling around on the desk is very, very fun. The video that I sent them to explain how rolling around on the desk will be is this video, and I'll load it into our computer here. Whoa, it's the aspect ratio is not correct. I wonder why. Whenever I just bring things inside, here we go. I think I've got it. All right, I'm going to show you this. Have a look at this. This is the desk zooming around. All you want to do is ride around Sally. That's so much fun. So we're going to be... I'm going to say that again. Kyle. God, she's gorgeous. All you want to do is ride around Sally. So we're going to be part of the 4th of July parade this year. If you're in Santa Monica, come on down to Main Street on 4th of July in Santa Monica. I don't know of our roll time. That's being sent to me over the coming days. I think the parade starts at around 9:30. It's pretty much all of Main Street. We'll be playing a whole lot of Bruce Springsteen, a whole lot of Mustang Sally, anything that really is very US. Oh, we'll be blasting that out and doing karaoke. So that's gonna be it's gonna be so much fun. But I need to actually pump up the tires. I know this probably sounds ludicrous. I hope this doesn't do the audio. It may do the audio. I just need to overlay this. There we go. So the tires that you can see on the front, this desk runs on 4 tires, obviously. Well, it's a wheelchair base connected to a desk, and the desk has 4 wheels. The front 2 are these pneumatic style wheels. They've gone flat. Do you know what happens when they go flat? I try to pump them back up, but a bicycle pump doesn't cut it. It doesn't do the job with this. So I then have to take the desk to the local gas station and actually inflate the tires on my desk in the same way that you inflate the tires on a car. Now, I got no problem with that because for some reason the level of shame that I feel is disproportionately low whenever I'm on the desk. I feel like magic when I'm on the desk. And so I don't mind. It does cost, like, you have to pay like 25 cents or 50 cents to get it started. And I don't know whether the people inside the store actually know that I'm doing a desk, because I should get a discount. If you think about it, actually, I should get a discount for when I pump up the tires on the desk, because this little desk, it doesn't actually, I mean, when I'm pumping up the tires, what am I using? Like a 1/10 of a car tire? And I don't even have 4 tires. I've only got 2. And it's only one of them that's flat at the moment. So I should get a massive discount. I don't get a massive discount, but maybe I should. So anyway, I'm going to have to go like in the next few days and pump up the tires. And then I changed around one of the back wheels on it for a more rubbery type wheel, because the one that was on it at the moment, is like it's basically the same type of tire that you get on shopping trolleys when there's no suspension or rubberiness to it, and it's just clack, 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 clack. So I swapped that round. Nick Burnham made the comment that I should put Monster tires on it, and you're damn right I should. You're 100% right that that's what we need to do. We should put Monster tires on it at some stage. I've been off-road on it. I took it off-road one day. We went driving in the desert, actually. A long time ago, Kyle and I went driving in the desert with the desk, and I wonder if I can find what that. It got stuck. It actually got stuck in the. Here it is. This was the race. The. Oh, it's such a good song. I went and saw him live a couple of weeks ago. This is Just Say Yes. Ill Behavior. Huge song. Such a good song. Hey, start! Here, just hear this part here. It's a desk racing a van. It's a desk racing a van in the desert. Why? Why is it doing that? I have no idea. I don't know why. Look, I lost. That is one of my favorite pieces of cinematography ever. If you were to ask me what's my favorite piece of cinematography, I would say to you, the aerial shot from this video, just here, where the desk just, the van drives away, leaving the desk, and then it's just an aerial shot of a desk aimlessly driving in the middle of the desert. Oh my goodness, this is such a ridiculous video. Why on earth did we make this? The NV200 versus the desk. Yeah, so Kyle and I were out in the desert a while ago, and yeah, there's her hand. You can see Kyle's hand come out of the window when it flies past. There. She's giving it the V's. She's giving it the V's as it comes past. I'm trying to pretend that I'm not controlling a drone in this scene. This is such a ludicrous. Let me say one last time. There it is. And this mix, that's Joyride. It's Just Say Yes and Joyride. Hot Drum. Oh, Hot Drum and Ill Behavior. Damn, can you get like that's those tunes? Can you get any better? Absolutely no. Did you know Mozart was a fan of Bass House? He loved it. He used to cut shapes like no tomorrow. He would play the piano whilst setting fire to the floor. It's actually where the saying comes from. To cut shapes actually comes from Mozart. It was one of his favorite things to do. What a wild man he was. What a wild, wild man. I tell you what, here's the thing. I bet Mozart never, ever used the phrase, duh. I heard an adult, I legitimately heard an adult today say, oh, duh. That, if you're an adult, don't say that. Come on, stop. So I thought we got rid of that. It was, the reason it made me so sad, not only it's just a very silly thing to say, they were putting someone down when they said it. Let's not put people down, even though I guess that's what I'm doing now. So there's some circular logic for you. Unfortunately, I think, well, I'm not putting them down. It's a recommendation. Back when I used to do Toastmasters, the way that they used to describe that you should review or critique someone was recommendation. Celebration, recommendation. Oh, now I've forgotten. It was basically say something good, say something that will help them, say something good. So you kind of peppered in the advice, something good, something you need to fix, something good. I bet someone's going to put in the comments now, Gray, I like your t-shirt. You're an idiot. I like your t-shirt. Because that's like saying something good, something bad, something good. Please don't do that. But anyway, this person legitimately said duh to someone, like putting them down. Don't use that. Don't use that as a... And if I'm going to use my same system that I just spoke about there, they had good posture. They had good posture. Don't say duh. And I like your shoes. So there we go. It said something good, something constructive, and then something good. Yeah, that was at UPS. I went along today. I had to drop off a parcel at UPS. Really cool new method of dropping off a parcel as part of Amazon. And I imagine that this is at all UPS, or if not, at just the local ones to me. I didn't even need to package up the product. I just took the product. It was a cloud lifter was trying a different preamp for this microphone. As you know, we've been having problems with the mic levels. Hopefully this one's okay. I took your advice and I set the compressor at 6 decibels and a ratio of 1 to 3 or 3 to 1, whatever the compressor ratio goes. So hopefully it's going a lot better. But anyway, I had to take it back, and all I needed to do was walk into the UPS store, hand them a parcel, show them a QR code, and it was done. And when I say parcel, I didn't put it in a box. I just took the product along. This is one of the things about Amazon. It's getting too easy. It's so good. It's so good. I was in a Target recently and it ran through my head. I was like, the product that I needed to buy was actually at Target, but I didn't buy it because I'm going to get it on Amazon because maybe it'll be a little cheaper. But ultimately, the returns process is so much simpler that, yeah, it's hard. Retail's hard at the moment. Got to find out the ways to, to add the value. There's absolute value in brick and mortar. Absolute huge value in brick and mortar. It's finding the value and really expanding upon it. That's the important part. And I think those things like ease of refunds, need to refine them. I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a new segment. I went and picked up the mail. I use like a corporate mailbox, and so we're going to do a segment, and this segment's name is Mail Time, and Mail Time comes with its own intro. So for the first time, welcome to Mail Time. Mail time. Did you get a letter or did you get a bill? We'll only know once you open it. Oh, Mail Time. That's right, Mail Time. It has its own theme music. Now that is pre-recorded, post-produced audio magic. Do you want to hear it again? Of course you do. What's the segment called? Mail Time. Did you get a letter or did you get a bill? We'll only know once you open it. Welcome to Mail Time, the only segment on this show where we open mail and hope that it's fun and full of awesome things and hope that it's not bills. What type of letters have you got today, Gray? All right, here we go. Let's do it. This one's from PayPal. It's definitely them offering me... It's definitely going to be them trying to give me a business loan, to which they then won't approve because my business hasn't been around. Here's the thing. It says loan builder. Apply for $5,000 to $500,000 for cloud. Earlier this year, I needed... I was about to deploy scooters in Los Angeles, and had the insurance costs not been as expensive as they were, I would have deployed 500 scooters. So I needed close to $1 million, depending on the funding that we were going down. But I needed close to like $1 million in funding. Could have probably done it with a smaller amount, but if I was taking a business loan, was going to do $1 million. If I was doing VC, was going to take a different amount. If I was taking like a seed round, different value. But business loan, potentially like 500 grand, somewhere to $1 million. Everyone I spoke to was like, yeah, let's do it. And then when they would ask questions about like, oh, how long's your business been around? And I'd say, well, it's only been less than a year. They're like, oh, no, we can't do it. Now, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. That's just how business loans work. But now I get multiple. I mean, here's the first letter from PayPal. Here's another one from PayPal. That's going to be exactly the same. PayPal, we want to help your business grow. Loans from $5,000 to $500,000. I've spoken to them and they told me I can't have the business loan, yet I keep getting them constantly. Breaks my heart. This one looks interesting and terrifying at the same time. So that you know, like, if you ever want to send me a letter, send it to our Cloud Transportation Technologies, 929 Colorado Avenue. That's you can send me letters there. That's the office address. This one is from the city of Los Angeles. Oh, how great's that? I have a city of Los Angeles tax registration certificate. I don't know why. I'm really happy with that. That's exciting. This is issued for tax compliance purposes. It's a really thick card. Thank you, City of Los Angeles, for my tax registration certificate. That's great. So that one wasn't scary. That one was a good one. What segment are we watching again? That's right.
Mail time. Did you get a letter or did you get a bill? We'll only know once you open it.
That's right. You'll only know once you open it. What can I do here, actually? If I move that... I know what I'll do. I'll put the logo of Mail Time up in the top left-hand corner. There we go. Now you know what segment we're doing. Mail... Oh, what am I doing? I could just do that. Mail Time. Here we go. It's Mail Time here on Robot Time Machine. This one is the state of California. California Department of Tax. Let's see what this one is. What's this letter? This one just need to fill out. We've got another seller's permit. Sales use and tax, need to fill out some paperwork for that. Yay! Tax letters. That one's, yeah, just seller's permit. Cool. Next letter here is from Chase, and this one is, just why do they send out these like just information sheets about data and privacy? Thank you, Chase, for sending that to me. I mean, it's better than not informing you, I guess. I don't know. It's hard. Oh, and did you notice this letter? This letter is the letter that the logo of Mail Time was actually written on. This is from the city of Santa Monica. This one just ran through my head. I'm like, if anyone watching this is like, oh, Gray's been sent like some cool stuff. No, this is literally mail that I've just been sent. So this one is from the city of Santa Monica Revenue Division Business License Unit. I wonder what this is. I think I know what this is going to be. This is, dear business owner, sidewalk vending operations in Santa Monica. This is to inform you that on April 9th, 2019, the City of Santa Monica Council adopted Ordinance 2607. The ordinance went into effect immediately. The ordinance, city staff have developed administrative regulations to provide additional details and guidance around the city sidewalking vending permit program. And here we go. Lots of City of Santa Monica sidewalk vending program administration regulations. So there you go. There's this is huge. The red part you can see is completely out of bounds. No vending. No vending. For those of you close to the Santa Monica Pier, this is huge news. Absolutely huge. There's to be no vending along the beach bike path, Pacific Beach Road, or the pier or around the pier. No stationary vending in the orange sections, which is like 3rd Street Promenade, Santa Monica Boulevard, Broadway. No stationary vending on the beach. no stationary vending on pedestrian parking. Huge. So there you go. If you're not in Santa Monica, you're probably wondering, why, Gray, have you got that? Well, we had to do a lot of... You should come along to some board meetings, actually. The City of Santa Monica board meetings. Become part of your local... Become an active participant of your local society. And I'm part of the City of Santa Monica for the Santa Monica Pier Board. We had many issues over the years with street vending. So illegal vending, like literally just crazy amounts of vending, got kind of dangerous. You don't want people to get sick by buying food that's rotten and so on. So we worked to get that changed, and things have been changed. So very good, very exciting. All right. It's now at this time that I ponder, I wonder whether we actually went live. I wonder whether this has even gone out. I wonder. I hope it has. I certainly hope so. Well, that was an episode of Mail Time, which I'm glad we did. I'll be in Florida next week in Pensacola. If you're in the area, let me know things to do. I get in there Monday doing a conference for the Navy. Will be very exciting. I might be able to do a live broadcast around the Falcon Heavy. All depends on like sort of flights and when I get in, and we're touring a robotics facility, which will be spectacular. So I just don't know how locked down I'll be, but maybe we get to do a show on Monday. I'm then back next week. We'll be taking the desk out. Most likely we'll be going out with on the desk with Chris around the 6th of June or something like that, I think. I've forgotten the date. Not the upcoming weekend, but the weekend after. And I've completely forgotten what date that is. Yeah, the 6th and the 7th will probably be out in Venice. July 4th, Santa Monica, come along. We'll be taking the desk along. Main Street. Send messages. Oh, I completely forgot to do this entire show. Hit me up. @GrayBright is my handle on like everything. Use hashtag Robot Time Machine. Check out the podcast is live on iTunes. Have a listen to that. Come along. Enjoy the nonsense that goes on there. Yeah, send me messages. Let me know what we should do. That was fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, we got to talk about so many different things around like, how does this test pattern work? Desk. We did mail time. Mail time is absolutely ridiculous. Hopefully we get to do mail time again some other time. Let me see. Just before we go, I'll see whether we actually did go live. I hope we did. I think it went out. We're going to try and do these 2 times a week at the moment. Usually around like 5:30 in the evening PST. So that's 6, 7, 8:30 New York time or EST. Maybe like 11 or midnight over in London, and early morning in Australia. One thing I've noticed is while I stream from my MacBook to this software, it completely destroys my the broadband on my MacBook. So I'm just having a look. We did go live. We did. Hello, Lee. How are you, my friend? Tanya, hello. Frankie, hi from Washington, D.C. Our network TV test pattern when I was a kid was just simple colored bars. Used to stare at it far too long before Saturday morning cartoons came on. So this is exactly it. You're completely right. Those test patterns, Cartoon Network, the mornings, it's absolutely part of our childhood. Ken, hello, Ken. You're in Tulum. Good times, my friend. I hope you're enjoying it out there in Tulum. And 44%. The CPU. I've been monitoring the CPU usage with this. Oh, I'm not sure whether we actually went live on YouTube. We may not have. We may have. We may not have. Anyway, this was another episode of Robot Time Machine. These shows are ridiculous. They're great fun. Send me things. Tell me what I should be doing in these shows. Because otherwise, I'm just going to do way more things like mail time. And I know you want to hear it again.
Mail time. Did you get a letter or did you get a bill? We'll only know once you open it.
Hey, mail time. What a segment. Good. Good. I'm glad we did that. Okay, folks, this has been Robot Time Machine. Hit me up on Instagram. Make sure to go to iTunes and subscribe. Do me a favor, give it 5 stars. All this type of stuff's really important. We're on YouTube, Robot Time Machine. We're on iTunes, Robot Time Machine, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. It's either Robot Time Machine or Grey Bright. It's been a pleasure to see you all here. Thank you so much for having fun. I hope to see you again sometime soon. Robot Time Machine. Bye-bye now.